Sarah Fielding. Sarah Fielding was an English author and translator known for her significant contributions to early English novels, particularly for her exploration of the inner lives of women and children. As the younger sister of the acclaimed novelist Henry Fielding, her literary career and works played a pioneering role in the development of the English novel. Fielding began her literary journey while residing with her brother Henry following the passing of his wife in 1744. It was during this period that she embarked on her writing endeavors. In 1744, she published her debut novel, The Adventures of David Semple. This work adopted a comic prose style reminiscent of her brother's writing and that of his chief literary rival Samuel Richardson, who was also a close friend of hers. Following the success of her initial venture, Fielding continued to hone her unique narrative style. Her sequel, The Adventures of David Semple, volume The Last, in which his history is concluded, published in 1753, exhibited a distinct narrative voice marked by intricate emotional portrayals, richer character development, and a reduced reliance on conventional plot devices. One of Fielding's notable works, The Governess, published in 1749, is characterized by its didactic nature and its astute examination of the challenges women faced in British social life while emphasizing moral development. This novel is regarded as one of the earliest examples of a novel written explicitly for young girls and achieved considerable popularity, going through multiple editions during Fielding's lifetime and inspiring numerous imitations. In addition to her novels, Fielding demonstrated her scholarly prowess by translating Xenophon's Memoirs of Socrates from ancient Greek into English. This translation, published in 1762, was a remarkable achievement, particularly in an era when few women had access to classical languages. Furthermore, Fielding collaborated with her friend Jane Collier on The Cry, a new dramatic fable published in 1754, showcasing her versatility as a writer. While didactic elements often featured prominently in Fielding's works, with moral lessons interwoven into the narratives, she was recognized by critics as an innovator in the literary landscape. Her keen understanding of human motives and her skillful use of irony added depth and complexity to her writing. Although her brother Henry Fielding is more commonly associated with the major literary figures of 18th century, Sarah Fielding's contributions to the early English novel and her exploration of important social and moral themes continue to be acknowledged and appreciated by scholars and literary historians. Frances Burney. Frances Burney, also known as Fanny Burney and later Madame D'Arblay, was an accomplished English satirical novelist, diarist, and playwright. She lived from 1752 to 1840 and had a significant impact on the literary world during her lifetime. Her literary career was marked by several notable works and experiences. Frances Burney's early life was characterized by a passion for writing. She wrote stories and plays from a very young age, indicating her early inclination towards a literary career. Burney made her debut in the literary world with her novel Evelina, published in 1778. She initially chose to keep her authorship of the novel a secret, fearing her family's reaction and the public scrutiny. However, due to the novel's popularity and praise from notable figures like Hester Thrale and Samuel Johnson, she eventually revealed herself as the author. Evelina was a significant success and set the stage for her future literary endeavors. Following the success of Evelina, Burney published Cecilia in 1782. This novel further solidified her reputation as a talented writer and became widely popular. Burney's keen observations of society's foibles and manners were put to good use in this work. At the age of 34 and after two failed romances, Burney accepted the position of Keeper of the Robes in the court of King George III and Queen Charlotte in 1786. Her extensive journals during this period offer valuable insights into court life and the people she encountered. However, she found the position exhausting and requested dismissal in 1790. Soon after leaving her court position, Burney met and married General Alexandre D'Arblay, a French emigre. The couple faced financial challenges and Burney took on the responsibility of supporting their household. Despite these difficulties, she continued to write and published her third novel, Camilla, in 1796, which helped secure their first home. Frances Burney's life was marked by health challenges. While in France with her husband, she underwent a mastectomy to treat breast cancer, documenting the painful procedure in a letter that is one of the earliest first hand accounts of such surgery. After her husband's death, Burney returned to London, where she edited her father's memoirs for publication and maintained an extensive correspondence with prominent literary figures. She lived until 1840 and continued to have a lasting impact on the literary world. Frances Burney's works were characterized by well drawn characters, a nuanced exploration of social class dynamics, and intricate plots that intertwined multiple characters and storylines. Her early success and influence foreshadowed the work of later 19th century novelists like William Makepeace Thackeray and Charles Dickens. Burney's contributions to literature have left a lasting legacy, and her journals and letters provide valuable historical and literary insights into her era. Evelina, or the history of a young lady's entrance into the world. Evelina is a novel of manners written by Fanny Burney and published anonymously in 1778. This novel marked Burney's debut in the world of literature and revealed a keen social commentary and talent for depicting dialects. It is a significant work that influenced subsequent novelists, including Jane Austen. The story of Evelina begins with the reappearance of Evelina's eccentric grandmother, who plans to force Sir John Belmont to acknowledge his daughter's parentage. To spare Evelina from embarrassment, Reverend Villiers, her guardian, sends her to London in the company of respectable friends. Evelina, initially unsure of herself and prone to errors in manners and judgment, embarks on a journey of social development. In London, Evelina navigates the complexities of high society, often finding herself in awkward situations. However, she gradually overcomes her deficiencies, learns proper etiquette, and earns the admiration of the upstanding Lord Orville. Throughout her courtship with Lord Orville, Evelina must contend with the advances of the unscrupulous Sir Clement Willoughby, assist a penniless poet, endure the embarrassment of visiting her vulgar cousins, and uncover the deceptions of a jealous suitor who seeks to separate her from Orville. These episodes showcase Burney's talent for comedy and satire. Despite the challenges and misunderstandings, Evelina and Lord Orville's love prevails. Evelina's ultimate desire is to reunite with her estranged father, Sir John Belmont. With the help of a clever friend and mentor, Mrs. Selwyn, Evelina arranges a surprise meeting with Sir John. Seeing his daughter's resemblance to her deceased mother, Sir John Belmont is overcome with remorse and acknowledges Evelina as his legitimate daughter. The novel explores themes of courtship, love, and family status. Evelina's journey to find her place in society is guided by the principles of maintaining a woman's reputation and the importance of social conventions. Reverend Villiers serves as a voice of caution and tradition throughout the story. Evelina's character is depicted as high spirited, yet well mannered. She attracts the attention of several suitors but ultimately chooses Lord Orville, a decent and well bred man. The novel highlights the complexities of personal happiness and social legitimacy, emphasizing the impact of social dynamics on individual character and happiness. Burney's Evelina is an important precursor to Jane Austen's works, sharing themes of social class, manners, and the challenges faced by young women in navigating society. It remains a significant work in the genre of novels of manners and continues to be studied and appreciated for its social commentary and character development. Charlotte Lennox. Charlotte Lennox was an English novelist whose literary works, particularly the Female Quixote, earned admiration from prominent literary figures of her time, including Samuel Johnson, Henry Fielding, and Samuel Richardson. Born as Charlotte Ramsay, she was the daughter of a British Army officer and was said to have spent time in the colony of New York during her childhood. However, recent evidence has cast doubt on this claim, suggesting that she lived near Albany, New York in 1739 when her father was stationed there. After her father's death in 1743, she returned to England, presumably to live with relatives. Lennox initially pursued a career as an actress but met with little success. She eventually turned to literary work and published poems on several occasions in 1747. In the same year, she married Alexander Lennox. One of her notable achievements was the publication of Shakespeare Illustrated, a pioneering work that involved a comparative study of William Shakespeare's source material, and it is speculated that Dr. Samuel Johnson may have assisted her in this project. The book critiqued Shakespeare's plot adaptations and questioned the morality in his works. Her first novel, The Life of Harriet Stuart, was published in 1751, followed by The Female Quixote in 1752 and Henrietta in 1758. Although she made attempts to write for the stage, her success in this endeavor remained limited. Despite having literary connections such as Samuel Johnson and Samuel Richardson, as well as the approval of Henry Fielding, Charlotte Lennox struggled financially and died in poverty. The Female Quixote, published in 1752, Lennox's most celebrated work, is a novel that parodies and imitates the ideas presented in Miguel de Cervantes' Don Quixote. Published 2 years after her first novel, it gained recognition and praise from several literary giants of her era, including Samuel Johnson. Jane Austen later used it as a model for her novel Northanger Abbey. The Female Quixote has been described as a burlesque, a satirical harlequinade, and a depiction of the hidden power of women. While some critics dismiss the protagonist Arabella as a coquette using romance as a tool, others have recognized her exercise of immense power without conscious awareness. The novel holds a significant place in the development of 18th century novel alongside works like Clarissa, Tom Jones, and Roderick Random. The novel's plot follows Arabella, a young woman raised in a remote English castle by her widowed father. Her obsession with French romance novels leads her to believe that her life should be filled with adventure and romance. When her father passes away, he stipulates that she must marry her cousin Glanville to retain part of her estate. Arabella's mistaken ideas about romance persist as she embarks on journeys to Bath and London. Despite her unrealistic expectations, Glanville continues to love her, and Sir George Belmore, a friend of Glanville, attempts to court her in a chivalric and high-flown style reminiscent of the romance novels. Arabella's delusions eventually lead her to jump into the Thames River, believing she is fleeing ravishers in an imitation of Clelie. This incident leaves her weak and ill, and a doctor is called to attend to her. It is during this time that the doctor helps Arabella understand the distinction between literary fiction and reality. As a result, she decides to accept Glanville's proposal of marriage.